Well, happy Anzac Day to everyone. My name's David Adler. I'm the President of the Australian Jewish Association. And I hope you can see behind me, we have a special display that has the Australian flag, has the Israeli flag, has a poster that gives a history of one of the great Anzac battles, and also a display of postage stamps, which I'll explain in a moment. If you were to mention the word Anzac to the average Aussie, almost reflexly, the thought that comes into the head is Gallipoli. Now, I'm sure that the young Anzacs fought very bravely at Gallipoli, and it is entirely appropriate on this day that we should commemorate their sacrifice and their bravery. But frankly, Gallipoli was a military disaster. We made no permanent gain, we lost a lot of life, and at the end of the day, the Anzacs retreated. Now, where did they go? They went in part to the Western Front and in part under British command in Egypt. Eventually, the mission that they were put on was to liberate the Holy Land. Now, just last year, we were fortunate to be in Israel for the centenary of the Battle of Beersheba. I'm sure many people have heard of the charge of the Light Horse Brigade. So I have a message that I would like to convey, that in addition on Anzac Day to commemorating the losses in Gallipoli, we should also be celebrating one of the Anzacs' most spectacular victory in the Battle of Beersheba in Israel. Now, there's been a lot written about this, but it's surprising how few people know. I have here a book by our good friend Kelvin Crombie called Gallipoli, The Road to Jerusalem, which explains in detail the history of what happened. And for those who are interested, I would highly commend the DVD by the same title, Gallipoli, The Road to Jerusalem. And I was personally involved in the launch of this DVD at the New South Wales Parliament House with Fred Nile and Kelvin Crombie. So our challenge, I think, is to add to the mindset of the celebration of Anzac Day, not just to commemorate the losses, but also to celebrate one of the greatest victories. It symbolises a very close connection between Australia and Israel. Now, AJA is going to introduce a little novelty for all our members and all those who choose to join AJA. We have ordered in bulk the Australia-Israel Friendship Flag lapel pin. So any member of AJA who comes to one of our events, or anyone who joins at one of our events, will be given as a bonus to wear proudly the Australia-Israel Friendship Flag pin. It symbolises the association, it symbolises the shared values. Now I'm going to show you close up behind me. I'll pause the video in a moment and explain to you one of the great things that has occurred in cooperation between Australia and Israel to commemorate this event, and again, very few people are aware. We are now looking at the specific display and summary history of the Battle of Beersheba. The photograph is taken by a historical military photographer, and it shows the three lines of the Anzac troops on their charge at Beersheba. Now I'm going to go down, hopefully not lose too much focus, and you will see here a display of a joint postage stamp issue between Australia and Israel. Indeed, this is the only joint postage stamp issue between Australia and Israel, and it commemorates the Battle of Beersheba. There are two different stamps there, which you can see showing photographs from the Light Horse Brigade. First day covers have additional historical photographs This was a terribly important event in the history of modern civilization, and indeed just 6 weeks after this battle, General Allenby walked through the Jaffa Gates to liberate the old city of Jerusalem, and it is said that this battle was the turning point which indeed did open the road to Jerusalem. Now, no discussion about Anzac Day would be complete without this. Everyone needs to consume, in my view, an Australian beer on Anzac Day. This happens to be my favourite, Crown Golden Ale. No commercial connection, but it's a good Aussie beer. And when I drink it in a little while, I will be toasting the Anzacs, not only commemorating the loss, but to celebrate their victory and to think about the connection, the additional history that we need to increase awareness about, which is the spectacular success at the Battle of Beersheba and the turning point in the Middle East for the defeat of the Ottomans. And of course, it led to a sequence of events, the British Mandate, the San Remo Conference, etc., which led to the establishment of the modern state of Israel. So happy Anzac Day to all. Hopefully it's meaningful and that this message resonates with some of you. Thank you for listening.